Welcome to another edition of Grammy Pro's Buzzin from New Orleans, and we're here at the Den at the Howlin Wolf. I'm your host, DJ Moonbaby, and I'm very excited to sit down today with this Grammy-nominated brass band, and they go by the name of the Hot 8 Brass Band.
Hot 8.
Welcome, you guys.
Welcome to
So many of you. I didn't count. Is there really 8 here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. Well, thank you for having us here in your town today.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
And Benny, I know Benny. Benny is the founder and leader of the Hot 8.
Yeah, my name is Benny Pete, founder and leader of the Hot 8, also the tuba player.
So let's go ahead and I'm going to let you guys introduce left to right.
Terrell Baptiste, trumpet player.
Big Al, trumpet, vocals.
Raymond Dr. Rocco Williams, trumpet.
John Prince Gilbert, saxophone, vocals.
I'm Tyrus Chapman, trombone and vocals.
Dwayne Finney, trombone player.
Sean King, snare drum.
Harry Cook, bass drummer.
All right. Thank you, guys. So, Benny, tell us a little bit about the band. I know it's been going on for like over 20 years. You guys established in your hometown of New Orleans some years ago, and some of your original members are no longer with the group. And tell us how you guys got started.
Well, we got started, actually we were all in high school back in the mid-90s. So we was just a bunch of high school kids that had a lot of energy, and we all was in the marching bands at that time, and we just wanted to do something else after we got out of marching band practice. We still had a lot of energy. We wanted to do something with our instruments, you know, so we kind of borrowed the instruments from the high school band director, and we would meet at the local park uptown, A.L. Davis Park, and we would just practice. We would put on a bunch of the older guys' CDs and just listen to it and try to mimic what they were doing.
Now, how many of you originally when you first started?
First started, actually me and Harry.
Okay, Harry's the OG here.
Yeah,
okay.
Harry, yeah. But they have guys, all these guys been with us for at least I would say 8 to 10 years and on up. Raymond made it 15 year this year. So the guys been hanging with us a while.
So tell us about a brass band. Like, this is part of the culture in New Orleans. This is what goes down here. So you guys, you do parades. We're like, what's the staple with a brass band? The staple of the culture here?
Well, it started off back, you know, doing funerals and playing in churches and doing marches and things of that nature, and deep off in the communities, the brass bands would play. But nowadays, everything is more modern, so they use a brass band from anything to a party, wedding reception, anniversaries, just about anything. Even the politicians use the brass bands to help, get votes.
You guys play for Obama yet?
No, we would love to play for Obama.
You still got a couple months. You know, he might call you up to the White House. So.
Couple months.
Yeah.
Right. So you infuse jazz, funk, hip hop. So it's not just jazz music. So your style is a little bit different than the original, maybe brass sound.
Well, yeah, you could say that. But it was very important for us to learn the tradition of the music first. And you know, now that it's 2016, we just feel it's important for us to have our own identity into the music and kind of be able to reach kids that's younger than us, reach the kids, people our age, and also know the tradition of the music to reach the older people, so we could just have a more family-orientated fan base.
So tell us about the album that was nominated for a Grammy. What was the name of the project, and how did that project come together for you guys?
Life and Times of the Hot 8. That was a project that we had been working on. We had been on the road back and forward. We owed it to ourselves. We've been wanting to put it out, but we had always traveled, and it was hard for us to get back and forth to the studio, so we had started recording in different parts of the world wherever we traveled to get it done. And we worked on it a while. You know, it was after a lot of things that we had been through in our career, dealing with Katrina, dealing with the loss of our band members. You know, we had 4 band members that we lost to violence, and so we just had a lot heavy on our heart. You know, and we wanted to get that out in a musical form and let people just feel where we were at, and we were still into the music, and we was doing okay, but it was a struggle. But it was important for us to just have that album.
So you were speaking through your music, essentially.
Definitely, yeah.
And the people received it, obviously.
Yeah.
Wide
yeah.
acceptance, Grammy nomination. That's huge. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So you're working on another album.
Yeah.
And you're recording, or going to be recording soon, on a legendary studio that's won a couple Grammys out of that studio.
Yeah, well, we just released our 20th anniversary back in October, past October.
Congratulations on 20 years.
Yeah, and that was a big project for us. We used a lot of the past members that played with us from time to time and throughout the years. We also used Joseph Williams. He was our late trombone player, gunned down by New Orleans police. Well, we had his grandmother to sing one of the traditionals on there. His uncle Howlin Wolf, one of the great drummers from New Orleans, to play the drums. And we also had his brother Aaron Macklin to play the tuba on that one. Mm-hmm. So it was another project that was close to our heart because we wanted to use a lot of family members and everybody who had anything to do with us just making it these 20 years, you know. So that was important.
That's a huge success.
Yeah.
So how do you select the group members for a band like this? Like, what's the criteria for these guys to be a part of this Hot 8 brass band?
Well, I mean...
What's the secret?
Yeah, well, it's more of a family now. Like, you know, we all, like I say, most of the guys been around for a long time, you know, either directly or indirectly been dealing with the band, you know, so we haven't really picked any strangers or anyone just came along and we picked them, you know, to be in the band. We knew them for a long time. We was big on trust and trusting each other, and so most of us been around each other, even probably before they were in the band. Some guys just hung around us every gig and every rehearsal, just, you know, just being a part of the band, you know, so it's not like we have tryouts or anything like that. We never had to get to that point. Yeah, we never had to get, we always would like handpick some guys that we already was dealing with in some form or fashion who we felt could fit the criteria to be in the band.
So I know it's important for you guys to keep the tradition of this music, but you also have infused so many other sounds. So are you evolving and trying to set some new trends and marks with the brass sound, or just keeping it traditional?
Well, no, we always going to pay tribute to the tradition, but we just feel like, you know, it's our time. We living in the present time, and we want to, you know, capitalize on our creativity and kind of do what we feel, and give that to the people. You know what I'm saying? As the time go along, it might get old. We're gonna get old, and people be like, well, you know, this what they did. They changed the music. The music evolved to this. So we want to be a part of that. You know, we don't want to just be known as a band that kept a tradition going.
Right.
But also we want to do that. That's very important. That's key to us. But we also want to have our own identity and creativity, so that's why we will venture off into reggae, blues, rap, and it also keeps us with a wide variety of fans.
Okay.
You know.
So you're signed to a UK label, which is another country that's accepted you and signed you and pushed you. What is it like to go over there and play versus being in your own hometown and in the U.S. playing? Like, how do they receive you out there?
Wow, well, they love us. They love us. They keep us. They really want to keep us. They don't want to let us go home. So we be fighting to get back home when we get there. They take to the music well. They appreciate the music, and they're real knowledgeable about the history and the culture, and they respect it. You know, so they give us the utmost respect, and they treat us great. You know, when we home, it's still competitive. You know, it's we always find ourselves, you know, having to be at our A game because we kind of raised the bar, you know, in our age range and our bracket of music. So people always want to hear something new, want to hear, you know, what the Hot 8 up to now, you know, and then it's like we battling ourselves because a lot of the younger bands playing our music. So they're younger, they might be playing it a little more vibrant, they might have changed it a little bit, but it's like, it's our music and we love it, you know, that's a great compliment to us, but competitively, it's like how you going to battle yourself, you know?
Right.
So it's like we get back in the lab and try to do something we never done before, come up with some ideas that we never, you know, did.
Do you guys think you're going to do something with some trap soul or trap music?
I mean...
Infuse that with the brass sound?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe
yet.
on that next album.
It might, yeah. Whatever feel. It have to feel good. You know, like we say, we call it feel good music. People always ask, what is that? What is brass band? What y'all playing? And we just sum it up right there. We playing feel good music. You know. And so if it feel good and we could do something with it, put a rhythm on it, yeah, we'll do it.
So would you be considered the leader with the tuba in this type of band? Like, who's the leader with so
Well, it
many
don't
brass
really,
instruments?
Yeah, it don't really matter about the
Is it
instrument.
like a conductor? Are you like a conductor for the
No.
band? Or everybody just is an infusion of jazz, just like freestyling sort of?
He play the music. He come up with the song list.
Okay.
He start the
I'm
music
like, who's
on.
the brain making sure that everyone's following along here? The
Right.
conductor.
Yeah.
Like the DJ.
Right.
he the
When I'm
DJ.
playing, when we're performing, most likely I'm like the DJ, keeping everything rolling.
Okay.
You know, because we really we don't use song lists for our performances.
I
A lot
don't
of
either
people
as a
do.
DJ.
Yeah,
I just
you know,
roll
but
with
a lot
it.
of groups
Right.
do. You know, they have it taped down or they have it all mapped out, and we never really do that.
So you don't have a set list,
Never.
really?
Unless only
got
time
something in
you'll catch
common.
us with a set. I know. Only time you'll catch us with it, we shoot from the hip. Unless we're recording, it's something that
Some
we're recording
structure
or some
to that.
video. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll put a little structure, but it still wouldn't go all the way according to plan because we kind of feed off the crowd and the energy that's happening. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and if we can't capture that moment if we script it, because the crowd might force everything to continue going one way, and
Right.
it's time. If we're looking at the script, it's time to go somewhere else, and it's like, no, we gotta let this moment serenade. You know, we gotta just let it sit here for a moment. And so, sometimes we never get to finish, you know, a gig. I mean, far as what we had in plan to play, or what I
Okay.
had in plan, because I might have it set up where I'm gonna play this, then I'm gonna hit them with this and that, and then we might stay here so long. It's time for the gig to be up. It's time to go out. You know, so. It's fun though. It keep us on our toes as musicians. It keep us alert and focused. Because when you have a set list, we find out it's clean. It's very clean, and we're not really targeting for our performance to be clean. I know people might say, "Well, that don't sound right," but we like the raw.
Well, that's what it's
You know,
about.
yeah, we like the raw fix when we're doing our music, and we like sometimes the crowd inspires us to go to a whole nother direction.
Well, thank you guys so much for being here today. It is such a pleasure to meet you, and Grammy in your future. So get that album done.
Yeah.
Nominated once, win next. I'm putting the mojo on you. So again, thank you for tuning in today. We're here at the Howlin Wolf at the Den with the Grammy-nominated group, the Hot 8 Brass Band. I'm DJ Moonbaby, and thank you for tuning in.